Life is good. Yes, it is. Take the bull by the horns to supersize your business. What the heck does this mean? Well, of course, for centuries, bullfighters have been, or matadors, have been grabbing bulls by the horns, by their two horns, and wrestling to the ground to win a bullfight in competition, in ranches and rodeos since then. For probably centuries, taking a bull by the horns meant taking action, taking definitive action in the spite of danger, in spite of difficult situations or difficult challenges, just taking action and doing what you know you need to do to get through a situation or to face up to a challenge. Now, in businesses and in life and in my professional life, taking the bull by the horns has never been a big challenge for me. That's always come pretty easily because I looked at it as lower risk than, for example, taking the bull by the horns in my personal relationships. Like, took me forever to get divorced, or in my other personal areas, things that I generally dealing with other people that would be, I would consider more risky or more difficult, because I think that the people we love and care about are, when we're vulnerable with them, it puts us at greater risk than people that we're in business with. Now, I have, in many times in my life, had to take the bull by the horns and just move forward decisively in difficult situations. I had a challenge with a business partner. I screwed up and picked a very wrong business partner in one of my businesses, which led to legal challenges and all kinds of nonsense that I had to step in and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to handle this, and take charge of that situation. And I've had to do that a lot of times in my business life, where in my corporate career, my job was to solve and interact between customers and the rest of the organization. I was the quality director, and I don't know why that became the customer liaison, but it did. And especially in a couple of my jobs where I traveled extensively to help untangle miscommunications between our sales force and the customer, and what we were technically able to do and what we were capable of doing. So I've always had to be very strong and very upfront and very decisive in my corporate career and in my owning my businesses, and not so much in my personal life. I could get away with slacking in those areas, except with my kids. I had to be decisive and be a good leader for my children as well. So it reminds me of the saying from Nike, just do it, just take action, because things are going to happen around us all the time in our lives and in our businesses that we have no control over. Things are going to happen, but we always have the power to control our reaction, our response, and the actions we do or do not take with respect to that particular event or circumstance. And, the same is true in our businesses with respect to planning. We can plan for different environmental things that could happen, or different things that could happen outside of us. We can have plans in place. We can predict that stuff is going to happen. So how would we respond if something were to happen? We always had emergency action plans, they were called in corporate America. And when I went into just running my own businesses, I took that practice with me. So I would think about, and I wouldn't worry or fret about it, but I would keep in mind, because it's smart, what could happen? What would happen if the electricity goes out in a food manufacturing plant? What would happen if the power, the gas doesn't work? What would happen if we had a gas leak? What would happen if we had a flood? We had lots of floods in my place. We were in a low location, so it would tend to flood sometimes. That's another long story about a bad business partner. What would happen if the freezer or the coolers went down? You have to have some contingency plans in place. And when you have those give you the confidence to know that whatever difficult situation or challenge arises, you'll figure it out. You'll come up with an answer. You'll solve that problem, because that's what we do as business owners. And that's how we grow and supersize our business, by constantly solving problems. The bigger, the better the problems you can solve, the faster, the easier, the more effectively and efficiently you can put those solutions in place, the more successful your business is going to be. So today, think of something that you can take the bull by the horns with respect to, and just do it. Take the action, take the decisive action, and know that even if it's the wrong action, it's better than no action at all. It's better to take control and create the life that you want than to have the life that you don't want created for you. Go out, make it an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Take charge. You got this.